What's up guys, my name is Spartan, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to obtain permanent black hole in the idle tower defense. So permanent black hole is a major milestone for your economy, and as you can see, I currently only have permanent black hole on one condition, which is my galaxy compressor. So I'm going to go through basically the path of least resistance for obtaining this and hopefully help you guys understand how you can do it for your own tower. So first of all, why would you want to get permanent black hole? And a few things to kind of take into consideration. Permanent black hole is massive in multiple instances of the game, both in farming and also in tournament runs. Black hole early on, when you're in Platinum, when you're in Champions, and even a little bit in Legends League, becomes a massive crowd control source for most of the enemies in the game. So having as much uptime as humanly possible is absolutely paramount, and it is something that I have zero regrets doing early on. One thing to consider when you are trying to go after permanent black hole is it will make doing standard orb devo very challenging, as you will no longer be able to hoard enemies properly. They will simply just go into your black holes and die to orbs anyway. So that's when you kind of consider pivoting to just going back to Blender, or perhaps going to an orbless devo strategy similar to what I'm running right now. So that is one thing to consider. You can't necessarily do orb devo as efficiently with permanent black hole, so just keep that in mind. So I think the first place to kind of start is just look at my black hole so that I can show you guys what I am working with here level wise. So I have the cooldown fully maxed, and I have the duration at level 33, and I get it up to 45 seconds with the black hole duration perk, and that gives me 5 seconds of downtime. This is important because it basically factors in that I am using a module called the galaxy compressor. I maintain permanent black hole 100% of the time if I get even one galaxy compressor proc in between waves. If I don't, then there's about 5 seconds of downtime, but for the most part I'm getting pretty dang close to 100% uptime, if not slightly less, which again has been completely massive and game-changing in terms of my coin income, and it also has been super helpful for my tournament runs. And the reason that I originally got it up to 33 seconds, my black hole duration, is because of my galaxy compressor. At the time, I only had a mythic galaxy compressor, so that takes off minus 17 seconds. So 17 plus 33 is 50, which is the minimum cooldown that I have of my black hole, therefore making it perma if I get even just one activation with mythic galaxy compressor. Now that I have it up to ancestral, it has been even more noticeable that I have even more uptime on my black hole, but doing permanent black hole without galaxy compressor will be quite challenging, so just keep that in mind. But it really just comes down to the overall stone investment. You can get permanent black hole without galaxy compressor. It just requires a lot of stone investment. So to put it into perspective, to get your black hole to look like mine, I'm just going to give you the no crap, realistic, this is how many stones I've spent on this particular module. So to take the cooldown all the way from 3 minutes 20 seconds to max at 50 seconds, it requires 2,040 stones. So that is the cost to max. To get the duration for black hole to 33 seconds, which is what I currently have, it's going to require a cost of 1,717 stones. So you're looking at quite a lot in order to get this to permanent status. But it is, again, definitely a very good longer term goal to kind of strive for. And just for kicks and giggles, I will show you guys how many stones I've spent on my black hole size as well. Currently, I have a mythic module effect for the black hole size. So my black hole size is actually only 60 meters, and that is level 15, and that basically cost me 1,096 stones. So quite a lot of stone investment that I have into my black hole. But again, I heavily feel like it has impacted me in multiple facets. The black hole size in particular is really important, just making sure you have as much coverage as possible so that you get the coin multiplier for it. Because you don't want to be killing enemies outside of the black hole coin multiplier, because you get an 11-time coin bonus multiplier for enemies killed inside of your black hole. So it is definitely a huge econ ultimate weapon. So now I'm just going to basically explain to you guys what I have done up to this point to get where I am now with my black hole. And what I did, and this might seem like RNG, and maybe it is a little bit, so just keep that in mind. It does partially depend on if you get a galaxy compressor or what the rarity of that galaxy compressor is, so just keep that in mind. But whenever I first started the game, my first two epic modules, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but that's okay, were Galaxy Compressor and Multiverse Nexus. So keep that in mind. As soon as I got even an epic Multiverse Nexus, I threw that on and started using it to farm. And because of the unique effect, I knew that I would have no issue kind of just dropping my black hole cooldown on the contingency that I kind of figured I will be using Multiverse Nexus for the long haul, which is what I've been doing. So I used Multiverse Nexus for the longest time, got my overall combined cooldowns down to, I believe, 75 seconds. So 75 seconds with the Mythic Galaxy Compressor takes off 20 seconds, so that brings you to 55 seconds. So basically, I knew that I would have no real issue just fully maxing out my cooldown for my black hole, and that's exactly what I did. After that, I began slowly bringing down my Golden Tower cooldown as well as my Death Wave cooldown until they were decently low. And I still have some levels I can do into my Death Wave cooldown, but it is getting quite expensive, so I'm going to leave that on the back burner for the time being. Because the way I see it currently, my setup allows me to do everything that I would need it to do. But in terms of actually obtaining permanent black hole without Multiverse Nexus, you can do that literally just by maxing the cooldown and getting the duration up to 33 seconds. If you have Multiverse Nexus like I do, you might have a little bit less uptime. Like you've seen a little bit throughout this video, I don't always get permanent uptime. And I generally get around probably 97%, and that has been more than sufficient for me. But it's only going to get better from here once I do eventually get an Ancestral Multiverse Nexus. So yes, basically just to summarize the basically minimum stats that you will need to obtain permanent black hole with a Galaxy Compressor is you will need a 50-second cooldown on your black hole, which costs 2,040 stones. And then you will need, at a minimum, a 33-second duration costing a grand total of 1,717 stones. This is expecting that you have a Mythic Galaxy Compressor. You can still obtain it with a Legendary Galaxy Compressor, you just need a higher duration on your black hole. Instead of 33 seconds, you would need it at 37 seconds, but that costs a lot more stones. That would bring your total stone cost up to 4,200 stones. So I would say if you get it to around 32 or 33 seconds for the duration, that would be more than sufficient, anticipating that in the future you will get more Galaxy Compressor modules and eventually get it to, at a minimum, Mythic. And one more thing to keep in mind with the cooldown and duration, keep in mind with the black hole duration, you don't necessarily have to spend it with stones. If you can still get the 33 seconds if you use a module sub effect. So for example, you could just get the duration for black hole up to 30 seconds and then use a Mythic module effect, which gives you 3 seconds of duration. And that would save you basically 700 stones. So you can definitely do that as well if, you know, stones are a little bit tight, which I know they are for me, so I'm sure that they are for you as well. But just know that the general goal without perk is you want your black hole duration to be around 33 seconds total. The cooldown, again, you want fully maxed, but keep in mind you also do want a semi-developed black hole size. I think at a minimum, if you're going to be farming at max range with Blender, you'll probably want at a bare minimum 54 meters for your black hole size. And that should be easily obtainable. It costs 642 stones to get from level 1 to level 12. But anyway guys, that is actually going to wrap up today's little video on getting permanent black hole. Again, I have zero regrets doing so. It was quite expensive early on, but it has completely skyrocketed my econ and also helped me out in my tournament performance. But again, I need to reiterate that if you are currently doing Orb Devo and trying to pursue permanent black hole, keep in mind that it will kind of affect your ability to optimize Orb Devo because you will no longer be able to hoard enemies once you get permanent black hole. So just keep that in mind. And then at that point, that is when you kind of consider, like I mentioned, pivoting to a different strategy, either like a max devo or an orbless devo, something like that. Or if you just want to go back to straight up Blender, you can absolutely do so. And last thing I'm going to say, guys, we have a Discord server. We just hit 900 members in it. So shout out to all of you guys in the Discord server. We talk about all sorts of tower related stuff. We're trying to build a pretty cool community of just people who all love this game as much as I do and are more than willing to help out with newer players or players of all experience levels. So if you're interested in checking out the Discord server, feel free to check out the description. The link will be found kind of towards the bottom of the description. So feel free to stop in, say hi, don't be a stranger. And anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, I will see you guys later.